to help you embrace. No more relying on pills they don't know. She's got the strength to help you grow. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep. Medicine shelves are emptying out. Finding real strength, that's what it's about. No more prescriptions tying you down. With Shayna's help, you'll wear the crown. Ladies, hear the call, it's time to rise. Shayna lifts the veil, opening eyes. No more shadows breaking your day. With her wisdom, fight pain away. Broken paths don't mean you're lost. Shayna shows to bear through the cost. Healing hearts one smile at a time. With Shayna, you'll shine forever and feel the power rising inside. Shayna's guidance right by your side. Life's getting brighter step by step. With Shayna's touch, you're gonna prep.
Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to a life so free. Her healing touch, she'll set you free with a heart.
Hey, guys, are you ready to get healthier, but you're just so busy and you don't know where to begin and you don't want to waste time growing all organic and cooking for 6 hours? What if you could do simple swap out? Simply swap out this bad thing for this good thing in seconds at a time. That's what I want to help you. Yay! That's what I want to help you do today. I am Shayna Melissa Stockman, fellow autoimmune warrior, registered nurse for over 30 years, nationally board certified nurse practitioner almost as long, who empowers mostly ladies, especially in their busy lifestyles, to get and feel better while reducing or often eliminating their reliance on prescription medications. I'm now known as the autoimmune expert. So let's dive right in. Thanks for tuning in. Please click that like, share button, and subscribe. Before we dive in, if you haven't already, join our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop. Seats are filling up fast. There are free and VIP seats. You can still register right now before the seats are gone. Just scan that QR code or simply go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your free, which is no cost, or VIP seats. Then mark your calendars for Saturday, October 18th to 12 noon to 3 p.m. EST. Hey, no worries, can't make it. Level up to VIP. You'll also gain the replay access. VIPs will gain replay access, digital and printable Reclaim Your Life blueprints with all the notes, the worksheets, a second session for live Q&A, and a third private confidential consultation one-on-one with myself, all for only right now the introductory price of $47. I don't think I can ever offer this again for free, and the VIP for only $47 and include that much. So please, guys, that's less than you would spend on a lunch. You are worthy, you are deserving to treat yourself as good, if not better, than your bestie. So moving right along, I want to show you quick, easy swap outs. We're all so busy and we don't have time, right? And often an excuse is, well, I don't have time to eat better. I'm working a lot, yada, yada, yada. I'm on the road a lot. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you how. Now, here's an example. If you could eat, say, 3 or 4 gummy bears, a little handful of M&Ms or Chuckles, or a little piece of chocolate, or wait, or have that huge bowl of all of those beautiful colors of the rainbow for about the same amount of calories and less fat. So please choose and choose wisely. We all have a choice. I'm not about a diet. I'm about lifestyle changes. I would rather choose that huge bowl of the colors of the rainbows and really fill up than those 3 little pieces of candy with artificial colors, sweeteners, preservatives, sugars, processed garbage. No, so it's all about choices. And I just want to help you make smarter choices. You know what? When you go out to 7-Eleven or the diner, they have salads too, right? So moving right along, here's some other swap outs. Instead of that candy, look at those Skittles, M&Ms. You could have the colors of the rainbow, but have them in the bowl of fruit or that bowl of salad. You could have that few pieces of candy or that huge bowl for about the same amount of calories and less carbs and less fat. Also, instead of that candy bar, it's just as quick and just as easy to grab an apple with a handful of nuts, right? And you're going to get a lot less fat, a lot less processed, a lot less sugar. Your sugars will be better and your body will thank you and you'll feel better. You won't get those highs and lows and crashes. And same, you could have that handful of M&Ms or Skittles or a huge handful of nuts and dried fruit for less carbs. I'd rather have that bigger handful of fruit with dried fruit with nuts. That's going to really fill me up. Here's another example, the power of the rainbow. Instead of the Starbursts and the Skittles and the M&Ms, why not have that fruit? Why not have that salad? Look how beautiful the colors of the rainbows could be when they're powers of the plants. I mean, this is beautiful. So I would rather choose that huge bowl of a salad or a huge fruit salad any day over the candy. Um, if you'd like more, just go to worldwellnessexpert.com. That's our main website. Okay, here's another hot topic, the whole Tylenol acetaminophen thing. I don't want to get political on you, but I want to show you how new and cutting edge my slides are. So this past few days, President Trump and RFK Jr. made a big announcement about Tylenol, not the name brand necessarily. Tylenol is the name brand, but it's also acetaminophen, and that's in a lot of your pain pills, especially if you go to the dentist or a pain management doctor. Acetaminophen is in a lot of medications. The name brand is called Tylenol. And it wasn't Trump, it was a lot of studies that he brought to light that I think other presidents were too scared to do, and maybe the mighty dollar stopped them from doing so. So these were a lot of studies done over several years by Harvard, Columbia, a lot of prestigious schools, showing that acetaminophen could be toxic to the pregnant mommy and the unborn fetus and young children. And they've even seen studies where the pregnant moms who had 3 times the amount of Tylenol as moms without the acetaminophen, their babies had, I'm sorry, the moms with the acetaminophen in the umbilical cord, those babies had 3 times higher ADHD, autism, and other things. It is not the only cause by any means, and I'm not saying that, but this in conjunction with these and some other things could definitely increased risk of things like autism. So instead of reaching for that Tylenol, especially if you're pregnant or for your little one, what if you just hydrate? That'll help lower a fever. Rest, cool compresses, a cool or a lukewarm shower or bath, maybe adjusting the AC or lowering the heat, wearing loose clothing, shorts, tank top, or powers of the plant. What about ginger, peppermint, chamomile, turmeric? Those are all great natural anti-inflammatories and have a little bit of effect on fever reduction as well. Good old salt gargles, right? Salt kills a lot of germs. What about garlic? Garlic, echinacea, oil of oregano all have properties to fight bacteria and viruses. They're like natural antibiotics. So what happens if you chewed on a little bit of garlic? You put a little bit of echinacea or oil of oregano. And there's something called, let me see if I cannot botch this, Gaduchi, also galoy. And that is like a natural antibacterial. It fights the fever and it reduces inflammation, and it helps promote your immune response system to wake up those macrophages to gobble up all of the toxins. So there's all of these natural alternatives. We don't have to resort to the medications. I'm not opposed when we need them, because as a licensed nurse practitioner, I can write all of those prescriptions, but we need not to jump to them first line, because synthetics often have side effects, interactions, dependencies, lethal consequences as well. I mean, drugs are a leading cause of death, especially in the US. So moving right along, we know that we can do simple swap outs. Instead of Tylenol, maybe do oil of oregano, garlic, a cool bath. But also, instead of ibuprofen, here's a swap out I like to do. You see, some people take ibuprofen, Motrin, Advil, or something like meloxicam, Mobix, Meloxicam, which is Celebrex, to try to reduce inflammation for their aches and pains. But I use powers of the plants that have natural anti-inflammatories for them instead. Because the ibuprofens and all of those others, they can be harsh on the stomach. They can lead to gastric ulcers, bleeds, hemorrhages, kidney dysfunction, and sometimes permanent irreversible kidney dysfunction. So even if doctors give you, instead of ibuprofen that's harsh on your stomach, they give you meloxicam, that's very harsh on your kidneys. And they give you a blood pressure pill that's also harsh on your kidneys. I've seen them cause permanent irreversible damage. So please don't resort to them first. Less often and lesser dose is best. I use powers of the plants. So all of these right here are natural anti-inflammatories. So maybe instead of oregano, put in cilantro in your cooking. Use that ginger root. You can slice up some ginger and still it in your water to have, or make a ginger tea out of it. You can make the ginger tea with the lemon. You can make a one pot wonder. You can take this wild caught salmon that doesn't have the dyes and the plastics, and because that has the omegas, which is a natural anti-inflammatory. Sprinkle a little extra virgin olive oil, another natural anti-inflammatory. Lemon juice, another anti-inflammatory. A little bit of cilantro, another anti-inflammatory. If you don't have lupus, throw on garlic. That's another natural anti-inflammatory. And all of these are natural powers of the plants to reduce your inflammation naturally without the harsh side effects of the prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs. I teach a 90-day program called Your Wellness Journey. When you guys join the workshop, you're going to get a great taste of when you join the live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop, you're going to get a great taste of what your wellness journey is all about. But in your wellness journey this past week, I always have live Q&A sessions about every other week to recap the lessons and answer their questions in real time live on Zoom. And one of the members in our group, the monthly members, asked about, and that's a perk of our membership, is you get weekly or bi-weekly live Q&A sessions. So she asked about vaccines and which ones she needed and did not need. And I want to show you, when your doctor insists, or you're a healthcare provider, on vaccines, a lot of times they do it because they get huge commissions, huge bonuses for 100% of their patients being compliant, or 75 or 50. And a lot of times the doctors now will discharge you from the practice if you refuse a vaccine, so it doesn't interfere with their statistics of their commission and bonuses. And this is the sad reality of it. So if your doctor insists on you getting a vaccine, you need to insist on the blood test first. They don't tell you this, but there's a blood test called a titer level. It will show if you have long-term antibodies called IgG against that disease. Like right now, I had chickenpox when I was a little girl, and I tested my blood a few years ago. I still have the titers are positive, meaning high. I still have the long-term antibodies for chickenpox, so I will not need a booster. Almost every single vaccine out there has a specific blood test you can do to see if you already have the long-term antibodies and might not need a booster. You can do this for shingles. You can do this for chickenpox. You can do this for hepatitis B. If your doctor's like, listen, you need the Hep B shots, you're like, wait, I think I already had them when I was younger. Insist on the blood test called a titer level. Remember that word, titer level, or long-term antibodies, or IgG. So if your doctor says, hey, you know what? You only had one shingle shot 2 years ago. You need a booster. Say, no, 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 no. I want that titer level, because often you will have long-term antibodies showing that you have enough immunity and you do not need a booster. So guys, if you take anything away from this, please insist on a titer level. Discuss the pros and cons of each vaccine with your licensed healthcare provider or myself, because there are pros and cons to each and every one. And a lot of them we simply don't need. We don't need them. But you have to weigh the pros and the cons for your unique situation. I don't know if you're immune suppressed or other things. And you also have to know a lot of times your doctor will insist on you getting a vaccine because you have a weakened immune system. But you have to be very careful because some of them have weakened viruses in them. And when you have a weakened immune system, you're more likely to get that disease from that vaccine. And I've seen this with, say, the shingles vaccine. A lot of them have a live weakened virus, and doctors are insisting your immune system's weak, you need this shingles vaccine. Well, they're not telling you is since your immune system's weak and they're giving you a virus, you can actually get the disease from the shot. Not all shots have a weakened virus in them, but some of them. Okay, that's enough about that. Moving right along. There's another hot topic that came out all about the Ozempic. Now, from day one with Ozempic, I would not write this drug, okay? I've been a licensed healthcare pro for over 30 years, and I've seen way too many bad things. There, about a decade or 2 decades ago, there was an injectable. One of the first injectables came out for diabetics, and we were learning that they were dropping weight. So, you know what? You could think off-label. Let me use that on a non-diabetic to drop weight. Hence, fast forward a decade or two later, they tweaked it a little bit, call it Ozempic. But the problem is, I noticed then it was causing medullary cancers, which is kind of like a thyroid cancer in rats. And the pharmaceutical companies were saying, well, it's not proven to do that in humans. Why? Because it was just hitting the market with humans and it wasn't around long enough like the rat tests were. So this Ozempic, I refused to write it since day one. There's two type of practitioners. There's ones that didn't know better and the possible side effects. And there's a lot of them out there that knew and choose the almighty dollar, the quick dollar first. And you know what? Why? It's a quick, easy cash cow to charge you cash every single month for the visit. They don't have to worry about your insurance. They upsell it, meaning they get it for this price. They charge you this price for it. Now, not all doctors upsold the drug. They might have just wrote you the script. But a lot of them did that as well. But I knew from day one not to write this. And a couple of my clients were mad, but now they understand and they're thanking me for it. The Ozempic, they lose weight loss rapidly because they're losing muscle. Okay, when you lose muscle, your muscles are atrophied. They're weaker. You're getting weakness. Now, when you're losing muscle, your metabolism slow down, so you're more dependent to stay on the drug longer. So people think they were just going to be on it a few months. No, they're on it long term. They're getting gastric paresis, means paralysis of their stomach where their food is not moving out. And they're just vomiting up their food. They're not absorbing anything. Now, not everybody gets these side effects, but these are some of the common ones. Intestinal blockages. Their intestines stopped working. They're getting gallbladder issues. Since their muscles were breaking down, it's overloading the kidneys. Their kidneys are starting not to work. And sometimes the kidney damage is becoming permanent, irreversible. They're linked to thyroid tumors in humans now, more stomach acid, which means it's eroding the teeth. Some studies showed bone loss and other studies showed it not so significant. And the practitioners were not giving adequate warning signs to the patients about the possible side effects and healthier alternatives. And that's what I've always done for decades. I tell my patients all the possible risks, side effects, and healthier alternatives, and I document that. What you don't realize, instead of the Ozempic, why don't you just rev up your body's own production of GLP-1? You see, Ozempic is a GLP-1 hormone. They're giving you an injection of a hormone. So it's either synthetic, man-made, or it's from God knows what animal or fetus. Now, our own body makes GLP-1 hormone naturally. And there's ways I can help you rev up your body's own endogenous GLP-1. So it's not synthetic, it's not from a fetus, it's not from another human. When you get a hormone from another animal or another human, you're getting foreign RNA and DNA, and that can stimulate autoimmune reactions. And from a lot of these protections and mandates, that's why we're seeing a huge uproar in autoimmune. A lot of these mandates had aborted fetus cells from the 60s, okay? So there's ways I can help you naturally rev up your own body's endogenous GLP-1. I want to help you, instead of that Ozempic, get to the root cause. There's so many women that have Hashimoto's, an autoimmune thyroid problem that was never diagnosed, even though they went to the doctor every single year for physicals. If I get to the root cause of your problem, I can stop the weight gain and I can reverse it. And you don't need the drugs to treat the symptoms that are no longer there. So a lot of times it's Hashimoto's, it's autoimmune causing the weight gain. It's lifestyle choices. You're choosing that candy bar over that salad. It's portion sizes. It's sedentary lifestyle. When I get to the root cause, you usually don't need the drug that's causing adverse reactions, vital organ failure, and deaths. And I want to help you do that with these simple swap outs. Okay, here's another one. Toothpaste. Oh, I tried to search healthy toothpaste, and 100% of them had at least one of these ingredients on the left. I could not find a truly healthy toothpaste, even ones that were fluoride free. See, fluoride isn't necessarily the issue, it's that it ties to other heavy metals. When they extract fluoride, they're also pulling in lead, mercury, cadmium, titanium dioxide. So these are bad ingredients on the left that are probably in your toothpaste. They put in titanium dioxide to whiten. They put in silica, which is linked to respiratory illnesses when you inhale it. They're put in that foaming ingredient called SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. They're putting in these hormone disruptors. Parabens have been linked to cancers. They're putting in those red dyes, blue dyes, artificial colors, sweeteners, and if they don't put in a more artificial sweetener, now they're using sugar alcohols like erythritol and xylitol. Those are greatly increasing your risk of clots. Now, and they're putting in DEA, which is a foaming agent linked to cancer. Now, when they put in this erythritol or xylitol, that tiny bit in that one product might not necessarily be a problem, but it's in your toothpaste, it's in the snack you had, it's in the dinner that you had, it's in the gum, it's in the mints, it's in that xylitol and erythritol is in so many things now. So all of that adds up to a lot of it, which could increase your risk of clots. And then if you're an older woman and you're past your menopausal, you're at a higher risk for clots. And then if you smoke cigarettes or you're on birth control, you're increasing your risk of clots. If you have a sedentary lifestyle, and all these tiny things are adding up to a huger risk of clots, and those clots can cause heart attacks and strokes. So what did I do? I couldn't find a really healthy toothpaste without any of those ingredients, so I made my own. And what I did is I threw in coconut oil. Coconut pulls all those stains off your teeth. A little bit of baking soda. You don't want baking soda too much because it could be very harsh abrasive, but that's what's in some of your toothpaste anyway. A little bit of peppermint or spearmint. You have to make sure it's food grade because essential oils, they're not all made to be ingested. So make sure if you make your own toothpaste with coconut, a drop of baking soda, peppermint or spearmint, that it is food grade peppermint or spearmint essential oils. You could throw in a drop of stevia because stevia is a natural sweetener, or even a little bit of cinnamon, mix it up and just simply use that as a toothpaste. It doesn't have any of that nasty stuff in it. Oh my God, I gotta move right along. Okay, another quick, easy swap out. Recently, not that long ago, I was in Florida and everybody's spraying these aerosol sunblocks. And you know what? We're breathing that in. That's so bad. It has carcinogens in it. And then most of those sunblocks and sun lotions have parabens in it. So make sure you get yourself a paraben-free one. Don't use an aerosol one because people are breathing in as harsh chemicals. Instead, use a mineral sunblock that's a roll-on that does not have parabens, sulfates, phthalates, or even gluten in it, especially if you have celiac or a gluten intolerance. And instead of the saltwater pool, instead of the chlorine in the saltwater pool, you're better off in the ocean. I'm sorry, instead of the chlorine pool, you're better off in a saltwater pool, a saltwater jacuzzi, or the ocean. Now, these sunblocks, it's, you know what, we need the sun to absorb our vitamin D, to keep the winter blues away, keep depression away. The vitamin D we need to thicken our bones, to keep away osteopenia, osteoporosis, and fractures. So we don't necessarily need a lot of sunblock all the time. All right, moving right along to the next slide. Here's a very interesting fact. You know, they try to scare us with use sunblock so you don't get skin cancer. I'm not opposed to it, but you always have to weigh the risks and the cons. A lot of the sunblocks have parabens in them, which is linked to cancer. Do you want to take your largest organ, slather all over it, something that's linked to cancer over your largest organ, your skin, and then avoid getting the sun to get the vitamin D that you need to keep your bones thick and keep depression away? I don't know. So here's a very interesting study. Now, this is from 2016 to 2020. They took every state, and this is per 100,000 people, how many of them had melanomas. And if you look in the southernmost states, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, they had the least melanomas. And those are one of the highest sun exposed states. Um, Even Alaska, they have the most daylight and one of the least skin cancers. But Hawaii was very interesting. Now, you see, there was a study they did from 2017 to 2021, and they did it per every state. And the average melanoma risk was 22.7 people per 100,000 in an average state out of all the states. Hawaii was only 23.8 per 100,000 had melanoma. One extra person per 100,000 had melanoma in Hawaii. So I'm not necessarily sure that, we're blaming the sun a lot for this melanoma. But in Hawaii, aren't they, a lot of them surfing and out on the ocean all the time? And to only have one extra person per 100,000 with melanoma in Hawaii, I don't think we can just blame the sun for melanoma. Okay. I mean, yes, some of it. So you have to weigh the risks and alternatives. If you have a bald head, you might want to wear a hat, put a little sunblock on your nose. And you know what? Do your own due diligence. Okay, moving right along. Oh my God, this is moving so quick. So, also, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you on. Please drop a heart or a comment. We'll stream it across the screen live, address it in real time. Please click that subscribe button on YouTube so you can see us again and other people can see us. Oh, okay. We're going to talk one last time, I guess, about the live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop. If you haven't already, scan that QR code with your phone or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. Mark your calendars. It is Saturday, October 18th, 12 noon to 3 p.m. Live, 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 live. If you can't make it, level up to VIP. Only the VIPs will get the replay access. The only choice you have to make is, hey, do you want the free seat or you want to level up to VIP? The VIPs will get the replay access. They will get a digital and printable workbook with all of the notes and worksheets. They will get a second session for a live group Q&A with hot seats where you get to ask me all of your questions in real time on Zoom. And VIPs get a third session for a mini private consultation one-on-one with me, all for only $47. I don't think I'll ever offer this again for free. And I don't think I'll ever offer the VIP seat this much, including a private consultation, for this little ever again. So please, guys, scan the QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim and claim your no cost or VIP seat. If you claim your no cost seat, then you will have the option to level up to VIP, because I've had people reach out, hey, I want the VIP, but I only see the free seat. Do the free seat, then you'll have the option to level up to VIP. Are so overloaded with people joining that if there's a problem and you're unable to register because of the overload, please reach out to me, drop a comment, a private message, or just go to worldwellnessexpert.com/VIP to level up to VIP directly. Again, if you're having a problem accessing it, reach out to me or the team, or try again in another day. Okay, moving right along. I want to give a couple more swap outs here. We want to help you replace this with that. Okay, here, let's move right to this one. Okay, so the candy. Instead of the candy, grab the piece of fruit with the nuts. It's just as sweet, but it's from nature and it doesn't have the artificial colors, sweetness, preservatives. Red wine, right? Instead of the red wine, what happens if you switch to a gluten-free beer, especially if you have celiac or gluten intolerance? Or a light beer, it has a lot less calories. Or what if that soda or that coffee that has a lot of artificial colors, sweeteners, preservatives? The coffee has a lot of molds, fungus, and pure acid. Switch to a healthy, like I do. I switched to these healthy energizing drinks. It's distilled or filtered water with the methylated B vitamins. It gives me great energy without highs, lows, crashes, no artificial colors, sweeteners, preservatives, and it gives me all of my methylated Bs that I need to for my nervous system to keep anemia away. And it has healthy adaptogens that help me focus and concentrate all day long. All right. Oh, here's another one. What if you swap out that stressful person, you have that friend that's like toxic and negative and poisonous all the time? Instead of seeing that friend, why don't you just meditate, right? I don't care if it's go to the beach, lock yourself in the bathroom for a little bit and have a nice bubble bath. Meditate. So I want simple swap outs. Instead of smoking, don't smoke. If you know what, the cold makes your fingers turn blue and white, heck, stay out of the cold, wear gloves. If you're exhausted and you can't function because you're not sleeping, simply get a little more sleep. It's these little tiny habits that are adding up. All right, we have the coffee alternative as well. I was saying with these methylated B vitamins. See, coffee used to give me heartburn, reflux, indigestion because it's pure acid. If I switch to this, I still get caffeine from green tea. Doesn't have the acid, so I have no more heartburn, reflux, indigestion, no more losing my vocal cords or laryngitis. I have no highs, crashes, lows, no artificial color sweeteners, preservatives, and I love them. And another swap out I did, red tomatoes could give a lot of acid to you, right? Especially the sauces, the pizza sauces. I just simply swapped them out for orange tomatoes. Orange tomatoes are less acidic, so I can still have my tomatoes without getting the agita. All right. Oh, happy dance. We got to move on to the happy dance. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, guys. What if you swapped out? People are saying, I have no time to work out. How many hours of TV are you watching a day? If you just swapped out 1 hour of TV for a 4-minute happy dance, check this out. Now, if you swapped out 1 hour of TV a day, you'd have another 365 hours a year to do so many more things. Now, if you swapped out that 1 hour of inactivity for a happy dance, there's 1,440 minutes in a day.
No, we don't stop. Yeah, we don't stop. No, we don't.
All right, there's 1,440 minutes in a day. I don't care how busy you are. You are worthy. You are deserving of at least 4 of them to just pick a song, pick a happy song, and just dance. It releases stress, releases a couple of feel-good endorphins, burns a couple calories, thickens your bones, increases your stamina. Just a 4-minute happy dance a day. So if you swap out a 60-minute TV show for a 4-minute happy dance, you will save 365 hours at the end of the year. And you have, imagine what you can do with all of that. How many weeks is that? I don't even know. That's a lot of weeks. And you will have an extra 24 hours of exercise just by doing a 4-minute happy dance a day. So that's my call to action to you is pick a happy song and dance. I love Happy by Pharrell. It's a little longer song. Okay, now check this out. I was redoing my kitchen, right? Now, a lot of us like to resort to Google. Google is often wrong. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong. It's spitting out misinformation from other people that claim to be experts that aren't. There is so much misinformation on Google. Do not rely on your health, your one life, your vital organs where you can't get replacement parts that easy. By going to Google and doing Google search. How many times did you guys try to Google something and it's like 3 years later and you still didn't finish that project, right? Okay, so please, guys, yeah, you can go to Google and figure out what took me 30 years of perfecting, or hire the expert, right? If your roof is leaking or you want to do your kitchen, do you go to Google and try to figure it out? Or do you go to the expert who already made all the mistakes, has done this thousands of times, could save you tons of hours, weeks, months of getting ulcers and stress? Or do you just go to that expert who's been there, done that, worked out all the mistakes, had success stories thousands of times, and say, you know what, here's some money, expedite my journey, save me years, and just do it, you know? And that's what we do. That's what I did with my kitchen. I hired the expert. That's what you guys probably do with your car, right? Do you figure out how to redo your engine? No. If you're not going to trust Google with your car, why are you trusting Google with your one life? Okay, please stop it, guys. So I've already worked out a lot of what I know through 30 years as a licensed healthcare pro, 5 college degrees, 4 nursing licenses, my own autoimmune experience, thousands of patients literally from around the world. What works? What doesn't work? Are you guys sick of going to the doctor? Here, try this. Here, try that. Like you're a goddamn guinea pig. Come on, guys. We don't have to do that anymore. I know what works. I'm taking the guesswork out. I'm not telling you to try this, try that. I'm telling you to try what I know has worked for thousands of my clients over extended periods of time. So, guys, would you rather go to Google and still not have the project done in 5 years? Or would you rather hire an expert and expedite your journey, take out all the stress, all the trial, all the error, and just be done with it? I want to be that expert for you. I've already made the mistakes. I've already seen what works with patients and what doesn't. So there's no guesswork yet. And I want to help expedite your journey so it's not another 5 years where you're still Google searching. All right, so also we have, when you join our upcoming live Reclaim Your Life Super Workshop, we have the randomizer. This is really cool. We put everybody's name on it that joined and is live. And at the end, we spin it around a few times and we raffle up some really cool prizes. Gift certificates for $150 to restaurants across the US, like really cool things. Couple months supply of healthy energizing drinks, like really cool perks. So you gotta be registered. Only those registered will have access to the workshop, and only those on it who stay to the end when their name is called will win really cool prizes on the randomizer. And it's going to be woo-hoo! All right. So I want to encourage you one last time to go scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, claim your no cost or VIP seat. I highly encourage the VIP because it's going to give you the digital and printable blueprints with all the notes, the worksheets. It's going to give you a second consultation, a live Q&A session where you get answers to a lot of your questions. It's going to give you a third session for a private one-on-one consultation with me, all for $47. And just so you guys know, my consultations start at $600. So don't miss this. I can't imagine ever offering this much for this little again, and including the consult. So mark your calendars for Saturday, October 18th, 12 noon to 3 p.m. EST, live on Zoom. Only those registered will have access. Again, scan that QR code or go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim. If for some reason the system's overloaded, which it was last night, please just visit it another day or reach out to me personally and I will register you. If you know you want to level up to VIP and that link is not working, go to worldwellnessexpert.com/VIP and try that one. And again, if you can't register because the system's overloaded, come back in another day and please just reach out to me and I'll make sure I get you registered. Thank you guys for sticking in for this whole half hour. High five to you. Woohoo. Want you to raise a hand, bend at the elbow, pat yourself on the back. Quick, healthy swap outs, simple swap outs. We're going to go through a lot more of them on the workshop. The workshop's going to be geared for those that are suffering with symptoms, those that want to get healthier, be healthier, reduce or eliminate their reliance on meds, those that are suffering, especially from medical mysteries, problems since the vaccine, the virus, autoimmune issues, medical mysteries. It doesn't matter if you're suffering from pain, exhaustion, brain fog, I know that the workshop can help you. I was where you are. Who better to show you how to get where I am than someone who's been there, done that, okay? So that's all I want to say is go to worldwellnessexpert.com/reclaim, and I hope to see you on the workshop. Mark your calendar, October 18th. See you there. Be well, biohack.
Finding the strength deep inside. Shayna Melissa takes us on this ride from suffering to